So the fun way to enter into the truck, right, is from the back, right? So I usually do this when they go towards the choke side here, right? So what we want is we need to alter our legs from having 2 hooks in, right? So I'll switch into like a half back kind of deal, right? And what we want to do is we want to be able to, I like to drop my knee below the hip and kind of use this to start pinching and connecting down a little bit lower on the leg than you would for a normal kind of traditional back control, right? And if I can, once I can get this leg locked in, now I'm in my truck. And here, of course, we have we got our banana splits, we've got our twisters. I can use this to go back into a more traditional style back control, but one of the things, right, on the list of things we can do here is going to be this calf crusher. Right, so what we're looking to do, right, I'm taking my shin and I'm driving it into the back of his knee here. At the same time, my hands are going to be pulling down on the foot, and what's happening is we're causing his knee to separate. Right, some things that can make this work a little bit better. Right, I usually try and grab up towards the top of the toes. That way we can get kind of like a little toe hold action in this. We'll also get a longer lever so we get more action on the knee, right? And we can extend with our hips. Another thing you can do is you can take your foot and push in with this as well. Right, so not only are we pulling down, but we're extending with our hips, right? And using this opening force with our hips to generate that power. Right, some things you gotta be worried about, right? If I reach up with my inside arm here, there's a decent chance that you could get armbar. So be careful if you're gonna involve this arm here. Try not to leave your elbow in between the arms here because it can get snatched up, right? And that'd be embarrassing, right? On the brink of victory, you get defeated. So, right, just be careful about that. I'm not saying you can't grab with this inside arm, but that's gonna be something you have to worry about. If you're super worried or the person is really savvy, just keep it out of that general area. You should be all right. If you grab low enough on the toes, you should have enough leverage to pull here, right? And grabbing with or pushing on the foot helps too. I've also been doing a thing where I'll rear naked choke the foot, and that can be good when someone's being really active with trying to kick this. Right? I can kind of start building my way down from there. So we're here. I like to do this, especially when a person tries to grab my arm, and a lot of people like to pull it to the side and start their escape here. Alright, so when that happens, I'm clamping down with my legs to keep control over the hips, and I'm just going to shoot my hips down until my foot can find his shin here, and I can get this locked down. Right? I usually, when I'm in this truck position, I want to keep some sort of grip on him, right? I'll either grab here, or I'll grab here, or I'll just hold on to his arm here, right? What I want is to prevent him from turning away from me and coming up here, and maybe try and build into your banana split, or we can try and go into our twister, right? For the calf crusher, I like to use my foot to help gather it up, and I'm using my feet to pull it towards me here. And then I can get, once I get a hold of the foot, it's usually pretty easy from there. It depends on how active the person is with this leg. But what's nice about this is if they try and use this to disrupt it, they're going to be exposing themselves to that banana split though. Two types of hip locks here while we're in the area. Sorry. There's the banana split, right? Which is going to be when his knees are kind of pointing towards north, right? And then there's a crotch ripper, right? Where one knee's going north, the other knee's going south.
It's a good stretch.
Yeah. Right. So.
So do that again. Show the.
So banana split is when he goes into happy baby, and we get this locked in, and then crotch ripper is here or here, where it's more like, I always forget which one's American splits and which one's Chinese. Are we still saying that? There's a forward and back split, and then an out to the side split. So the banana split is like more out to the side, and then crotch ripper is front to back. Right? This is a good place to also go into our at that spot. we're here, right? Oh, and I have my butterfly hook here, right? And now I'm gonna elevate until this knee is up on my shoulder. Your hips okay?
Yeah, it's alright for now. Just don't stretch too much. It's like a half butterfly.
Deep butterfly half.
Deep butterfly half. Okay, I like it.
Nice. Alright, so I'm controlling his hip here and I've got my hook in here. So what I want to do is I want to put his right foot into my right hip. So I'm going to elevate this leg, and this leg is going to sneak shin to shin across until his foot falls into my hip. Right? My arms go from like cupping. Now I'm either going to lock down on this leg here, or I can lock down on this leg here. Right? And now I'm going to slowly extend, and I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. Alright, so he's going to follow to alleviate the pressure. And here I can either extract my leg and come up somehow. Alright, or if I leave it in, right, I can just follow him up. Yeah. And some to be swept, so yeah, knees on the floor. So
protecting the hip.
Oh, sorry. So we're here. Elevate, flying here, boom, right? And then here, while I'm still on the inside, we can start applying pressure here. But then usually...
If you keep this,
yeah, if I stay on the
the person's gonna push, right? I would push.
So the butterfly is fun. Depends on kind of where they are. Determines how I get this in. If they're far enough back, I'll just stick it in here. Right? If they're usually I like to do the butterfly when I'm being squished here. Right? So I'll bring my toe to my butt, and then or my heel to my butt, and then get my toes in here. Now, for the getting into the deep half, my free hand is gonna just go down towards my hip and try and just find where his leg is. Right? Then when I'm ready, I'm gonna use my legs to elevate.
That's really cool.
And bring them up here. Thanks. Right? I want to keep this hand here so I can keep his hip like in this space. Right? So I can kind of lock him down and make sure he doesn't move around too much. Right? Because I don't want him to do things like step over my head, right, and continue to pass here. So I'm going to lock this in. Right? And then I can elevate here. Put his foot into my hip. And escape, I'm ready to lock this in. So yeah, that's the goal. What I'm trying to do is, as he turns, I'm ready to hook his thigh with my foot here, and I want to set my ankle behind his shin, or his knee rather, with my shin. And I have his foot in my hip here. Alright, so what I need to do if I want to finish this as a submission, I need to somehow get a hip attachment here. Right? So if I can reach up and lock, and then, but if you're too far away, then I want to be able to kind of come up.
Also good.
And what you're gonna do is you're gonna lock and then you're gonna drop. So you can do this.
Do you want this in your hip?
So if you're, let's say you're De La Hiva, right? You go De La Hiva, you drop. And then you put your knee on the ground and you drive your hips in.
I remember I was trying to learn this from you like a year ago. Right?
So turn this way. So this is, there's not a, if you hesitate on this, they'll get out. Because they're gonna like, they'll freak, right? As though they should. So whenever the knee, right, if it's kind of like a lazy De La Hiva hook, or one where they're letting me clear here and not really keeping this super tight. Because if you keep your leg pretty tight, you're gonna go to my back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or at least you're gonna force me to kind of flee. But if you're just chilling in here, and I get here, and I push the knee down, and then I can come in, and I'm gonna be right here. And then you can just drop this knee as hard as you can, as fast as you can. You can step in, trap, drop. Then you gotta really drive this knee to the floor. And then you just like hip in.
Yeah.
All that, but you have to kind of do that all at once. Otherwise, I mean, you could get here and then slowly, but you know, you are not gonna let me just drop my hip. You're gonna push me away. And that actually puts a lot of pressure on my hip, on my knee rather. So if you sit here and are chill with this, you could get hurt, you'll hurt yourself. So it's not a technique that you can do in kind of half measures. It's here, right? And yes, and you drop, yes. But now you're gonna put your hips into me, and you can hold my head. Yeah, that's.
There's like a little bit of like a space tunnel right here.
And even here with this is not, but that knee doesn't really see anything to hold. So if we're here like this,
Oh
you can
yeah.
collect it up sometimes like that, right? So if you're doing these kind of like reverse knee cuts, right? Even here. So if I'm here, I put this down. Sometimes I'll wrap it up here, and then you can just finish off on the same way. You're gonna flare the knee this way and drive your hips in, and prepare not to have a friend anymore because they're not gonna like that very much.